Love
So
it.
Shelby, what's next on the docket?
Jenna, can I tell you about what I just read?
Yes. Tell me.
Jenna, let me tell you about the book that I just read. I just read... Hold on.
She's like, I just read. Let me look up the name.
Well, I want to make sure I want to make sure I get it right.
Yeah, I feel you.
Oh, fuck, I don't have my Kindle on here. Oh, wait, no, maybe I do. Do you remember in 8th grade when we had our Woodbury gymnastics thing? And that was our...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, friends, you guys have to read For the Love of the Gods by Rory Scott. Oh my fucking gods.
Nice.
You guys, this book, so can I please just show you? So we got Instagrammed by Rory Scott herself. And she was like, hey, I think that you might really like our book. And I was like, okay, cool. I went and downloaded it and I was like, we have some other things coming up on the docket. Like, I'll let you know when I read it. 20% in, was sitting reading it at work and I could not stop giggling.
I love that.
I was like, holy fucking shit. So if you like Greek mythology, Roman mythology, you like enemies to lovers, you like a slow burn, men who fall first, this is the fucking book for you. Not only was it that, it was easy to relate to, it was easy to read, and I just enjoyed myself the entire book. And like, I can't say that about a lot of books where I enjoyed the entire freaking thing. Highly, highly recommend. Rory also just sent us the arc for her second book in the series.
Stop. Oh my god, I cannot wait.
It is so, so, so good. And like, when she originally sent it to me, I was like, oh yeah, we'll get to it. And then I downloaded it and had some time, and I was like, why did I not read this sooner? And why is not all of Book Talk and Bookstagram talking about this?
Dude, that's like the most fun part, I think, about supporting or like getting pumped about indie authors. There are so many books that I find that I have never heard on Book Talk before.
Same.
And I find it, it's like, oh, we have 50 to 100 reviews, if that, on Goodreads. And I read it, I'm like, this is the best book I've read all year.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
also,
don't
Rory
understand.
offered to do an interview with us.
Stop. Oh my god, I cannot wait.
So we
That's
should
gonna be so
read
exciting.
the first one, finish the second one
Yes.
that I have in the arc in our email, and
We're gonna have to do
her on
that.
here for
I can't wait to talk with her.
so freaking good. I'm not even kidding you. Like, sometimes if you don't know a lot about Greek mythology, it's really hard to get into and to relate to everything. Everything was described so perfectly.
Good.
And they're like the houses of the main gods, and so they're like descendants from them.
So it's easy to follow, even if you don't know the mythology.
It is so easy to follow. And it was like modern day terminology and everything. That. Oh my, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. 5-star. 5-star.
Wow, that's big.
It is big. It is big because the last what was the last 5-star?
You gave 5 stars to Divine Rivals, didn't you? That was probably your last 5 stars.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that was probably your last 5 stars.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. This was so enjoyable to read. I cannot even tell you guys the last time I giggled at an entire freaking book.
I love a book that makes me laugh.
In the first 5 pages, I was like, she's so sassy. Oh my god, he's so sassy. I was at work in my office that I have with 3 other people, and I was like, I know, guys, I'm being annoying.
I love when I have a book that makes me laugh, and sometimes I'll be reading next to my husband. So my husband, James, really likes to play with music stuff. Like he like produces music and and DJs and things like that. And it's so funny when I'll be sitting next to him, and so sometimes I'll read next to him while he's working on that, and he'll just hear me start cackling, and you can just see him go,
"What are you doing?"
Like,
Gianni does
just
the
gives me this
same
look.
thing.
Yep.
He's
So
like,
funny.
or okay, my favorite is when I'm sobbing at a book, and he goes, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like, "But my character, but this character."
What are some of the books that have made you sob, Shelby?
Divine Rivals.
What else?
I was gonna say Flock, but not that one.
You haven't gotten there yet.
I haven't got there. Kingdom of Ash,
Yeah.
Akatar, probably every book.
Probably every book.
The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. You guys, I've listened to it 3 times on Audible, and I've read it once.
That makes so much more sense why you loved Divine Rivals.
Agreed. Because, so the first time that I ever listened to Addie LaRue was on my way to Steamboat, listened coming back, listened on the way there, listened coming back, and then I bought the physical copy and I've read it one time through. And every single time I sob. What are some books that have made you sob?
Ooh.
Oh, don't you even tell me.
Exodus.
That's the one!
That's after
That's
Flock.
the one!
Yeah, Exodus. I like,
Oh my god, I have a whole nother book to get through, you guys.
That's probably in my top 5. I have sobbed the most during that book.
Worse than Kingdom of Ash?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking... I'm gonna riot. I'm rioting.
That one specific scene in the beginning of Kingdom of Ash.
No. That's not what I'm talking about in the beginning of Kingdom of Ash.
I mean, there's a few scenes
I'm
that
talking
are like
at the end of Kingdom of Ash where there were a certain number of things that happened.
No, there is a lot.
This made you sob more than that number.
Yeah.
That is the most I've ever sobbed in a book ever.
I'm not usually super into contemporary books, and this literally, I
Jenna,
could not breathe sobbing kind of level.
Do you remember me sending you Snapchats of me crying during that specific scene in Kingdom of Ash?
Yes.
Me like this.
Yes.
And I couldn't stop. I cried for hours.
The biggest, okay.
That's worse.
The scene with the number of people also is bad. But for
this
me,
is worse.
For me, of the Throne of Glass series, the most emotional scene is the thing on the face that can't come off. And that's like the best way I think I can say that without it being...
No, I know.
Yeah. But the thing on the face that can't come off. And I sobbed. Like, the desperateness that comes through that scene.
I sobbed more for the number.
I mean, I sobbed for that too. But that... I think I just felt so much for that, feel of that desperateness. But so that in Exodus, I think I also have this, personal feel for something.
Fucking shit. I don't even know what I'm getting myself. So, okay, we were talking about earlier. I thought this was a dark romance. I thought this was like Haunting Adeline. And Jenna was like, no.
No. The Ravenhood series is not like Haunting Adeline.
Okay, because they get into this, we've got a potential group of people that we're,
it's
kind of
potentially gang-ish, but that does not make it Haunting Adeline at all.
But it is a why choose. And I saw that. What the fuck? Is this another Akatar moment? Oh, my...
I say nothing.
All right, whatever. I'm starting this book tonight. Oh my fucking god. And I thought this was like Haunting Adeline. I thought this was going to be a dark romance. I thought this was like How Does It Hurt? Does it hurt?
Does it hurt?
Does it hurt?
By H.G. Carlton.
There we go. By H.G. Carlton. I thought this was like that. Because it kind of has like a similar-ish cover. And
no. The Ravenhood series is not like...
You guys.
Does it hurt? by H.G. Carlton.
I thought
I'm
this
just
is what
putting
I was
that
getting
back.
myself into, and this is not what I was getting myself into. I don't. Am I prepared for this? Oh my god! I'm so nervous now. I have not had a book emotionally destroy me like this since Throne of Glass. Like Divine Rivals, I was this is so sad, but I wasn't like invested in them like this.
I am pretty sure for days afterwards I couldn't read or watch anything. I'm not kidding. When you get to the point that you'll know when you get to that point.
Hold on, I'll send you Snapchats of me crying. You can Snapchat that and then put them into our freaking TikTok and be like, I told you.
I'm so serious though. Like,
oh my god.
You'll see. That's all I have to say.
Now I just want to read it more. I love anything that can make me cry.
There's not that much that makes me cry like that.
So, have you watched Firefly Lane?
No.
Okay. I recommend this on the basis that we say you want to cry. The first season is like, oh, this is so sweet. I love it so much. The second season, I think it was the series on Netflix that ever made me cry. Ever, 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 ever. So, like, highly, especially with us being best friends, I really think you need to go watch it.
Noted.
Because I think that you will have, like, a major appreciation for it, because I think it will be awesome.
Wow.
Why did he just... Hope he didn't actually bite her. That'd be bad. Row, row, row. Row, row. But Firefly Lane, I feel like you would have such an appreciation for it, since, like, we are, like, the best of friends. I think you would cry really, really, really hard.
Oh, Jesus. It's quite the recommendation to say. I think you'll cry really, really, really hard if you'll watch this show.
Well, if you ever want to watch something that, like, makes you cry, do you ever feel that way? Like, I really want to watch something right now that makes me cry.
I cannot say I have felt that way before.
Are you kidding me? I usually look on Netflix and The Fault in Our Stars. The Fault in Our Stars. Every single time.
Most of the times when I have cried from a book or a TV show or a movie, it is not intentional. It has happened
they got
unexpectedly.
Me. Oh, man. No, they get me. Here's a cancer patient. Hey, here you go. They're going to die. Oh, that's me. But imagine actual tears running down my face.
Oh my god.
But Firefly Lane, I had to watch the last 2 or 3 episodes without Gianni here, because you could tell something was going to happen, and I was like sitting on this couch watching on the TV, and I was like sobbing. Like, could not catch my breath, sobbing.
You got really terrible things I want to say as a reaction to that, but I could not.
Like, I could not catch my breath. I could not breathe. I was so sad that I could not even catch my emotion.
Wow. But if you want $3, I'm so sorry. I feel like I do this all the time. If you want 3 books and you want to sob uncontrollably,
I am about to
read The Darkness and Fire trilogy.
I am about to. That is my. That's on my birthday list.
During Of Truth and Traitors, I'm not kidding, I sobbed more uncontrollably than I did during Throne of Glass. And I sobbed during Kingdom
Amber,
of X.
Why do you do this to us? God damn it.
I mean, it was amazing, but I sobbed uncontrollably.
Fuck. I'm in for it. We're getting the arcs for the next book, so.
Dude, I'm gonna die. I feel like I'm gonna screech so loud I'm gonna scare my neighbors when I get that arc.
So you know what's coming tomorrow? My sequel to Blood and Sunlight by Danielle Cancel.
Ooh, that's so exciting. When is that book coming out?
That book doesn't come out until, like, October.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You guys, I rated the first book a 4 out of 5 stars.
Nice.
It was like to me, it was like Alice in Wonderland meets Twilight, but not like what you would think. Like, when you read it, you're like, oh, yeah, I see it. But not, like, cringy. It was so good. So well written.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. Is that the only other book that you've read recently? Besides books for our podcast?
Pretty much. My next book is Clash of Stars.
That's awesome. I think the only other book that I finished, maybe since the last time we talked, was The Prince's Poison Vow.
All right, Jenna, tell me about it.
Let me tell you why The Prince's Poison Vow. You need to read it, though. I mean, it is unreal. It is epic. It is steampunk. It is queer representation. It is fun. It is so many POVs, but...
Oh, that's the one with, like, 9 POVs, right?
Yeah.
So it was, like, hard to get into, right?
A little bit. So I rated it 4.5 stars.
Damn!
And the only reason it wasn't 5 is because... So this book has multiple time jumps, and, like, the whole first section of the book, each chapter is following a different character. And so it's, like, almost 100 pages where you have, like, a handful of pages, and then you jump to a different character. And so I had a really hard time at the very beginning picking up, like, who was who, because there were so many. So it kind of reminded me of, like, Game of Thrones.
Yes, that was the one that I, like, kind of said might be like Atlas 6, but you said, oh, it's even more. Even more,
yeah. It reminded me more of, like, Game of Thrones, where there's, like, really so much going on. But once you get past that first time jump, I was so hooked. And to be fair, I am a lover of fantasy and sci-fi especially. So for me...
Like plot.
Yeah. So the, like, steampunk, like, very sci-fi feel in a fantasy world... 100% on my alley. I
really
loved it. I loved the world building that they did, and I love, like, so Haley Turner is the author, and I adored how she brought up all of the, like, relationships and all of the world, and there's, like, so many different romance subplots. Yeah. So there's, like, a couple male romances. Mm-hmm. There's one
I remember you saying that
female romance, and then there's, like, a potential male-female romance that is, like, very sweet to watch happen.
That's the back burner.
It's the back burner. But there's one of the male romances that I swear to God, I'm like, I have never been so invested in a romance ever. I'm like, they're, like, the sweetest, most, like, oh, you just love them. You just read it and you just love them. But I don't know, it was a really interesting read in that I felt like I'm not usually into books that I feel like the plot develops slowly.
No, you're more of a
I like to see this. Yeah, I want to see it moving along. I'm, like, ready to see it.
Character is more plot.
But this one, it was, like, the perfect balance of, probably maybe some of it was more, like, learning about the characters, but I felt like the plot moved at the perfect pace. Like, it was just slow enough that you're like, oh my God, I need to know what's going to happen next.
Oh my gosh, and that's like the perfect written book.
I loved it. Oh. It was so good. And I loved all the characters. It is so different than any other book that I have read in the last 3 years.
That's hard to come by.
I have not read anything even kind of like that in the last 3 years.
All right.
It was so interesting. So, but I will say it really, like, you have to be ready for... You got to think about, like, there's a lot of different names. You got to be ready to invest in that. And I think you have to really like that steampunk vibe, which I know isn't for everybody. But if you're into that, blown away. Loved it. Amazing book. I am dying to read the next one. I already downloaded the next one.
My gosh.
I really hope the Bookish Box does a sequel, like, releases the sequel on the same one, because it's, like, the prettiest book I have in my entire bookshelf. Mm-hmm. I'm obsessed with it.
So pretty.
It's so pretty. But even if it doesn't, I already downloaded it on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm going to read it regardless.
She's already got it. Honestly, girl, you're getting me. You know what I realized that this is? This is a, let me add this to your TBR book club podcast.
Right, it's not even let me tell you. Let me add this to your TBR.
Let me add this to your TBR. And we've already heard this from our friends. Like, we constantly talk to each other on social media about how we add things to our TBRs. And I feel like that's what this is now. We're just adding books to your TBR because they're that good.
But that's the goal. Like, I love to be able to see somebody be so excited about a book that I immediately want to read it. And I hope that you guys feel the same way.
That's why
that you hear us talking about a book and you immediately want to read it. Because we adore, not only do we adore these stories, but so many of these authors, we adore them as people. They are just such amazing people that we are so lucky to have involved in our lives through these interactions that we have. And we feel so lucky to get to read their stories and live out these visions they have.
If you guys are recommending these books to us and you guys are interviewing the authors and you guys are just like we're all getting to know each other in this like small little space that we have, we are like so excited to read that book, get to know the author. Like, this is so fun for us. Like, this is everything we could have ever imagined. Like, getting to actually know the authors of the books we are reading is like the coolest thing in the entire world.
Literally the dream.
This is the dream, and it all became because we love books. And we love you guys.
And I love you, Shelby.
And I love you so much. We have had way too much fun tonight.
Perhaps just a little, perhaps a bottle of wine too much fun.
We've had 3 or 4. If we had 4 bottles of wine?
No. Man. Well.
I think we did.
What?
Did we just age ourselves?
That's not that well a song, is it?
Yes, it is, Jenna. Yes, it is.
To be fair, I hate that song. That helps.
I don't.
You like Thrift Shop?
Yeah. I was a freshman in college.
That was
going into cheer practice.
That was on my do not play playlist on my wedding.
Good.
Hate that song. That
Good.
And what's the cha-ching song? That one that has the that was really bad.
Keep going, cha-ching.
There's a song like all I want to do is dun 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 and a cha-ching.
Pull the trigger. That song. Yes. Yeah, I know exactly what. All I want to do is bam, 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 bam.
And a cha-ching. And it's a very, like specific
oh my God, what is that song? Yes, this was when we were in high school. And I cannot remember.
Yeah, it's also on my least favorite songs list. It was on my do not play on my wedding playlist.
Agreed.
If you guys also like house music and not just fantasy romance books.
Because we are also EDM peeps.
So my husband produces and DJs mostly bass house music, but just like, let's just say house music in general. I also now DJ house music. My DJ name is Vagina. So hold that for me.
I'll hold it.
So you put your J's up. That is your...
Oh my God. Put your J's up.
Ready? Your J's up. We're doing some house music now. So if you are in the state of Denver and you would love to hear some house music, man, fucking hit us up on Instagram at Dorati or Vagina.
Fuck yes. Honestly, it's so fun. But also, we are going to be having a physical meetup for our freaking book club.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Britt Stark's A Clash of Stars. We both have a copy of the book already. Hold on. I have it here.
Mine's up there. Shit. Mine's up there.
Okay, I'll wait a second.
But just get yours. Just get yours.
Look at this beaut.
Oh my God.
Do you guys see this beaut?
It's got those like velvet covers.
Oh, it's got like the soft touch too, which I'm not gonna lie, I do love the soft touch.
Love it.
I am dying. I'm so pumped to start this.
I want to read it right now.
So we are reading this book for our book club for the month of September, and we have so many local friends
I'm
and
so
out of town.
surprised. We have so many friends joining us. Oh.
And even some out-of-town friends, they're going to be joining us on this. So we already have a group chat. We've got the chat going, talking about this book. We cannot wait to talk along the way. If you're local, we're going to have an in-person meet to talk about this book, too. There's a brewery in town that we think we're going to do it at. We'll release more information soon. But
we'll book the event. We'll get it all scheduled, and we'll let you guys know. We are so excited. There's a specific brewery we've been talking about.
I think it's going to be perfect.
Oh, my God. It's going to be absolutely perfect.
So if you want to join us on this discussion,
if you want to talk about this book with us,
A Clash of Stars, order it now. Get it in time before the beginning of the month. We're going to have such good discussions on this. I cannot wait.
I'm so excited. I knew that we were going to, like, meet a lot of people through this, but I did not think that it was going to be this much of a community.
Yeah.
And it honestly makes me tear up, like, just to know, like, how many people, like, support us and how many people, like, are invested in our journey and the books that we read. And I just want to let you guys know that we love you guys.
I know, it is pretty amazing. Book Talk is just, and I mean, Bookstagram, too, is just one of those places that you never thought you'd be able to meet and understand and feel so much for so many similar people or people that like similar interests. And it makes you feel immediately like you have a place that you belong.
Absolutely.
And I feel like when I joined Book Talk years ago, I immediately had this feeling like, wow, there's this amazing group of, especially women. Like, there are other people too, and I appreciate all types of people that participate. But the fact that a lot of Book Talk that I have been participating in is women that all are supporting, like, women and BIPOC authors and just an underrepresented group in fantasy beyond white male authors has been so cool to be able to not only meet other people that enjoy that, but support people that are driving those books and see them succeed. Like, I love being able to see
like, we're all just
other
like
authors
supporting each other, and it's so fun and it's so awesome. It's just like, it's so exciting, and now we're a part of it. I never thought that a best friend podcast would bring us to all of this.
Who thought we would have a podcast in general?
Honestly, I just thought we were having so much fun talking about books. Like,
who would have thought that I would have talked her into liking fantasy books enough that she wanted to have a podcast? Because 3 years ago, she had not read a book in, 5 years?
At least. All I read was pharmacotherapy.
I handed her A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I said, you're going to read this book, and you're going to read it now.
I was like, okay, fine. It took me, like, 2 months to read.
Took her 2 months. Handed her the next book, Mist and Fury.
Took me a month.
Maybe a month. The next book.
2 weeks, maybe.
Maybe 2 weeks. By the time you got to Akasif,
I was
a
like,
week,
Jenna,
if that.
why would you give me this book?
Yes.
Jenna, I hate her. Why would I want to read this? I think I said that for the first 100 pages. Why would you give me this book?
She did not want to read any book about Nesta.
At all.
She was determined.
I hated her.
And I told her, I said, you're going to relate to Nesta, and you're going to like her, and you're going to be really surprised, and you're going to be disappointed that you like her. And you did not want to hear it. And then you started that book, and you were probably not even 100 pages in before you were like, maybe.
Jenna, who do you think my favorite character is of Actar?
Cassian.
No, Nessa. But I am dating Cassian.
Yeah, of course, sure.
All right, can we also talk about how he walked in his camo gear and looked hot as fuck tonight? So my boyfriend came back from hunting tonight. We were sitting on the couch getting drunk, and
not getting. We're already drunk.
But we had already had a couple bottles of wine, and we're sitting there, and he walked in, and we were both like,
excuse me, sir.
Hello, sir.
Are you supposed to be here?
Did you shoot an animal? Are you shooting with a bow? Damn.
That growl, do that again. Okay, Henry Cavill. What? Where'd that come from?
Oh, I know.
Where was that last weekend? What?
Well.
Damn, girl.
My cheeks are blushing.
I just feel like I'm snoring when I do it.
You kind of do snore a little bit, though. Like, that's what you do. It's, like, kind of, like, in between your throat and your nose.
My husband snores so loud. So loudly.
Oh, my God. Wait, Gianni snores really loudly, too.
He's literally just like... That's about how my husband does it.
I've always slept in the other room. I don't know.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for joining us. We have been very drunk tonight. But honestly, we just love you guys. And this
Chaotic
has been so
episode.
fun.
But we loved Ledge. It was an amazing book. Highly recommend you read it. I really hope you go follow Stacy on any social media.
She's so
hilarious. Her and her husband, so funny.
If you guys want your boyfriends or husbands or fiancés or whatever to be like book husbands, Instagram boyfriends or whatever, boyfriend, go follow her. She basically gives you advice on how to do that. And I was
tips and tricks.
Fucking dying laughing at her TikToks.
Oh, she's hilarious. I love it.
She's so funny. Oh my God. And she writes great books. So that's awesome too.
She does. So watch out for Chasm coming out mid-September.
I think it's September 12th.
If you haven't read Ledge yet, make sure you read it.
Oh my God.
Before it comes out in mid-September.
So
amazing book. If you loved any fantasy romance, if you love enemies to lovers, if you love strong female main character, if you love a like big struggle and like a strong plot,
yes,
this is the book for you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I love you guys. I love you.
I love
this
you guys.
has been so fun. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye, Buck fam.